Hey guys, this is Jason. This is part 3 of my Vectorworks tutorials. In the last video I showed you how to put in the lighting positions and to start putting in your actual lights on your light plot. Today I'm going to cover inserting all of the information into your lights, how to create your lighting legend as well as your title block, and getting into your magic sheet. So first I want to actually start by saying that in one of my previous videos I talked about how you should wait to number your units, and that's a lie. You should actually start numbering them as you put them down, or start channeling them as soon as you put them down, because what that does is it, as long as you do it in order, so as long as you put in all of your front lights first and then all of your right side diagonals and then all of your left side diagonals, it basically creates your magic sheet for you. And so you should definitely pick a direction that you want to start putting units in and start numbering them. So for example, my channel 1 was the first light that I put down, and is focused to A, so it's my front light focused to A. My channel 2 is my front lights focused to B. My channel 3 is my front light focused to C. Basically, I number my lights and I put my lights in starting downstage right and moving across the stage to downstage left, and then starting up the next row, going mid-stage left or mid-stage right to mid-stage left, so on and so forth. And that's how I number my lights as well, or my channels. I also, every time I get to a new system, and by system I mean the next group of lights, so when I finish up my front light, which I had 13 of, so my front light was channel 1 through 13, I then switched to my R21 diagonal from stage right. I then started those at the next set of 10. So my front light ended at channel 13. My diagonal front light started at 21 and then went through 26. I then put in my right side diagonal cools, and they started at 31 through 36. My downlight R80 started at 41 through 46, and then my backlights, which there are 3, were 51, 52, and 53. I hope that makes sense. The other thing I wanted to note is that when you're putting in your focus, you can put objects in your focus area as well as combining focus areas. So for example, this downlight is its focus area is AB because it's focused between these two focus areas, and that's perfectly acceptable. If I had a rug special, I would put one on here and just label the focus as rug. That is also acceptable. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about alongside with labeling your units is how to, if you have gone along with everything that I've done so far and you've created your positions as lighting positions in Vectorworks, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to label your unit numbers. And this is super easy as long as you've done this, as long as it recognizes your lighting positions as lighting positions. If you click the lighting position and go over here to the object info, I always label my units left to right, because that's how you read when you're looking at the stage, and so it makes the most sense to me. It doesn't really matter as long as you are consistent with all of your electrics. And then you click auto number, and then it puts the unit number inside each of the lights automatically. If you push that button and it doesn't number a light, it means that light isn't attached to that electric or that pipe, and all you need to do is either manually put in the position or reposition that light so that it actually connects to that position. We'll do this guy too. Auto number. There. I already did that to my other electric. So now all of my units are numbered. They have the color, they have the focus, they have the channel number. The only thing I haven't done is dimmer number. And realistically, you can just label all of the dimmer numbers 1 through whatever, how many lights you have. All right. So now that you have labeled all of your lights, so this is my light plot. This light plot represents this this lighting key. I have all of my front light R51s. I have a system of diagonal R21. I have a system of diagonal R65. The R65 are 3 lights over here, or 6 lights over here. My R21 is 6 lights over here. My R81 downlight are all the PARs hanging out over the stage. And then my R14 backlight are these 3 guys in the back. And that's my plot. I have put in, I have no specials for this. If you want to make a special and have it act like a lighting instrument, that is very easy. The standard for a special is basically just a triangle. So if you click the 2D polygon tool and you just sketch out a really small, really quick triangle, nice little isosceles triangle, isosceles-ish. When you connect it, whoops. And then just put, you can just put literally 3 little lines together. We want to compose those so it's one object. There's our object. We then want to Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste. Now that we have the second object, we're going to place this object on top of it. This is literally the exact same thing we did earlier with the pipes. Control-E, we're going to extrude it 2 inches. Okay, we're going to highlight it. We're going to go up to Modify, we're going to create a symbol. This symbol is going to be practicals. Okay, so now we've made our practical. So now in our resource browser, go back to the Vectorworks file, and there's our practical. If you double click that, if let's say we have a light that hangs or that chills out on our table, you just place it like that, and then just like you did with your electrics, you select that guy, you go up to Spotlight, you go down to Object Conversion, and you convert to an instrument, and that turns it into a lighting instrument. And so, instrument type, lamp, it's a 100-watt lamp. Its purpose is table. Its position is table. It is the only light on the table. It has no color, whatever dimmer. It will be 61 because that's my next available set of channels. And then focus, I guess we can put focus as table. Doesn't really need a focus. But if you also notice, it also, because you've labeled it as a lighting instrument, it puts all of that information on the unit. If you really want to, you can go up into Spotlight, go to your label legend manager, and create a label legend specifically for your practicals, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Alright, so showed you how to make a practical real quick. So now you have completed your light plot. Well, you've at least completed putting the lights on your light plot. The next 2 things you need to do is you need to create a lighting legend, which is just a document or part of the document that shows you what symbols are, what the symbols on your page actually mean, and then your title block. So the first thing you're going to want to do is outline your paper, and this just gives you a nice outline, just like that. Make sure you select your paper. You don't want it to be solid, or your square. And then we will use this square as the bits of our template. So for your lighting legend, down in the bottom left-hand corner, we'll make another little square. And this little area is going to be our lighting legend. We can even grab our text tool, lighting legend. Text is a little small. I'll take away the solid background. Scoot him close to the thing. Change the size of that font. Lighting legend. Scoot it up a little bit. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. 20. Scoot you up. There we go. So now, this is the little box for our legend. We need to include two groups of information. So luckily Vectorworks does this great things where if you go into if you click on this little drop down menu and you click on your open file, it will tell you all of the symbols and objects you have used in your document. So we can literally just go and we'll start at the 19 degree, we'll insert that guy there, go to the 26 degree, which I used for my diagonal lights, go to my 50 degree, which I used for my backlights, etc source for par, go right there, and then the symbol that I used for my practicals, and he gets to go right there. Then we will select all of those guys, go up to modify, align and distribute. We want to distribute them vertically and align them horizontally, leftmost point, just like that. And then take our little text tool, okay, etc source for 19 degree. Then we can just copy and paste down to that guy. Copy and paste over to this guy. Copy and paste down to this guy. And just double click that because this guy is a 26 degree. This guy is a 50 degree. This guy is a par wide flood. And then this guy is our specials slash practicals. Practicals. I can spell. So this is literally just, these are the symbols we have used in our plot, and this describes what they are. This is the reason why it doesn't technically matter what symbol you use, because you can just label it to be whatever it actually is. It is useful to use the symbols that are actually meant for what they are, because then you don't have to constantly, then if you look at the plot, you don't have to constantly refer to the lighting legend to see what these actually are, because if you use like the source 4 symbol for like an alt 360Q, that would be very confusing to someone like me, because I know what that symbol is supposed to be, and so I would have to constantly refer back to this. But it's not technically incorrect as long as you label it down here. And then the other thing you should do is just over here somewhere, drop in an empty unit, and then we're literally going to put in text to show what each part of the unit number. We'll alter all the sizes of these two. Channel, mostly because I can't focus, color, dimmer, and then make this a little bit smaller, make that 10 point, and then grab the middle of that guy, put him there, middle of that guy, right off of the lens tube, focus to the middle of there, color to the middle of there, dimmer to the butt of the light. And then select all of them and get rid of the fill. There. And then now that's that will tell you if you ever need to know what these numbers represent. Now there's a nice little thing in your lighting legend that tells you. And then we can actually move all of this a little bit closer. And then make this box smaller. And there's our lighting legend. Then, in the bottom right corner, we're going to do the same thing, except this will have the information for our title block. So, let's make another box, hollow it out. The little top half of your box should be where you put your show title. And then we'll put in a few more. I'm gonna do it like halfway. Select all of them. Make sure they're not solid. Go into our text. This show was the misanthrope. Make that a lot bigger. Make that a lot bigger. Also, it should probably be italicized since it's the name of the show. You always want to make sure you have your scale in here. So I'm in 1/4 inch scale, so 1/4 inches equals 1 foot. Put that in the middle of there, make that a little bigger. Perfect. Designer Jason Pratt, that's me. Director John Doe. I hear he's a very great director. I've never worked with him personally, but that a little bit bigger, shove it in there. Make this guy a little bit bigger. Does it look bad? Did I clip it? Yeah, well. Tried to make his name big. That's what I get. Director. I probably should have made a third one in here for the date. Date. It is 10/22/16. Make that a little bigger. This little corner area is actually technically for your union stamp. If you belong to the United Scenic Artists, which is the union for lighting designers. But for this one, we use it as the date. There's your title block. It has the name of the show, scale, your name, director name, date. So that is your lighting plot. Your lighting plot is now complete. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create your magic sheet and then go into detail about how to create generate the rest of your paperwork.